Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I can start this video in so many ways, and I will do it on two. I will just limit myself. One, if you look in history, you have many examples when you had a powerful country or a powerful master, which eventually will be toppled by other individuals who get together, get stronger, and they will topple and they will get the power. And then here we go again. In this case, we have United States of America, which for the past 30 years was in charge of this world. People like it or don't. This is one of the problems. Give someone power and see what he or she does with that power, and you figure out who or she really is. In this case, United States, I think, blew it for the past 30 years. In my assessment, they could have used it in a noble way, and they didn't. They attacked and they blown and they brought democracy and freedom in that way. That was, no, they didn't show a good-hearted, enlightened view of the planet, and a lot of countries got threatened and scared by that behavior because they thought this is going to be us. And the other way I can start this one is by using Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russian Federation. About 4 years ago, in one of his interviews, he said, the United States, I think he was talking with a British weasel, obnoxious guy. He said, United States is losing its power, hegemony around the globe, and they don't like it, and they can't get used to it. So they still try to, grab and keep everybody close and shoot while they hold the loot, but they can't. There are too many of them, and too many of them are Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS, and direct relations between nations. Remember, there are 193 countries on this planet. US has under his arm, or her arm, let's put it her, just to make it a little bit more inclusive, her arms, about 30 to 40 countries, which is the European countries, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea and Japan, maybe a few Palau and Zupao and Kalau and Kulou, and then they are threatening everybody else and come over and grab these guys whole here. But Hungary is oozing away, Turkey is kind of like, and others. So they don't accept that and it's still shooting, but those guys are getting more numerous and stronger. I made a video a minute ago on Venezuela joining or wanting to join BRICS, the BRICS. That's developing economies, world developing economies. They get together against the hegemony of the so-called West, which is United States of America, dictating these guys right here and keeping everybody at gunpoint. Unfortunately for these guys, the other guys got their weapons too, and they get together. So at one point, United States must and will negotiate with the other side. Why? Saudi Arabia, remember Saudi Arabia, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is in the process of joining BRICS, the BRICS. So if Venezuela oil, Saudi Arabia oil and a lot of money, right? Iran oil and location, all these guys, Argentina and other countries want to join the BRICS, they're going to be over there. This guy is going to have to, because he gets more isolated, as they like to put it. Isolated. And they will not be able to fight the other guys. Remember, in these guys here, US doesn't have resources. These guys have no resources. No resources. And they're weak. Why they're weak? Because they create weak societies. An easy environment creates a weak organism. Rough environments create rough organisms. So unfortunately, these guys are making even weaker through their policies and so on. So I have two articles here, or maybe only one. Which one we're going to pick, we'll see. Where we have Saudi Arabia saying, yes, we are in the process of joining BRICS and creating a more just society on this planet and world order and all that. So this guy has to one point, how should I put it, agree to say, yes, I lost, or let's talk. But its ego does not allow this country to say that yet. But it will. What is it going to do? Attack Saudi Arabia, Turkey, all these guys in the same time? Doesn't have the resources. It's drained in Ukraine. But they still bet on a dead horse, thinking that they're going to destroy Russia. Therefore, the whole thing on the other side that they're shooting and keeping at gunpoint will collapse. If Russia doesn't collapse, which doesn't seem to, then all those guys build more and more. And he has to say, oh, let's talk, I want to talk to you, let's talk, guys. Like he takes charge. And those guys are not so idiots. Because he's not going to say, yeah, I'm losing it. Okay, guys, all right. He's not going to say that. He's going to try to take charge. Like, I'm still in charge. Let's talk about it. We can go on like this, man. Let's come over here. I invite you here and I will organize. You're not organizing shit. You sit down over there and then we're going to be all together here. But that's how you take control sometimes, if this doesn't work anymore. So let's see. I have Sputnik and I have 2 articles here. So actually 3. Building BRICS of New World Order. Saudi push to join BRICS Bank will benefit Kingdom and the world. And this is from 21 hours ago. This is from the 28th of May. Saudi Arabia in talks to join BRICS Bank to enhance funding options, and the other one, Riyadh, holding talks on joining BRICS Bank reports. So let's go with this one. So it's clear that the decision has been made and it's on the roll. So building BRICS of New World Order, Saudi push to join BRICS Bank will benefit Kingdom and world. Riyadh has made a concerned push away from US-led global power structures in recent months. Remember, this is Sputnik. Normalizing ties with Iran and Syria and expressing openness to trade in currencies beside the dollar. So it's not only the dollar, which is the dollar and the oil. Economist Jassem Ajaka explains why joining the BRICS countries development bank would be a win-win scenario for Riyadh and the bloc. Saudi Arabia and the BRICS group of countries' new development bank are in talks on the kingdom's potential membership. So the NDB currently has 9 members, the 5 BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, plus Bangladesh, the United Arab Emirates, Uruguay and Egypt. Hailed as an alternative to West-centric lending institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, the NDB has the potential to help satiate the demand for infrastructure investment among developing countries without forcing them to commit to devastating economic reforms. Furthermore, the lenders' local currency funding initiatives are specifically designed to reduce dependence on the US dollar and other reserve currencies. So they're going to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. So this decision has a political motive, but the economic aspect is of course the most important one. Lebanese economist Jassem Ajaka told Sputnik Arabic, commenting on the talks between Riyadh and NDB. So Riyadh benefits from joining is clear, giving the potential for increased trade and Saudi export especially. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is one of the largest suppliers of oil in the world, and the BRICS countries produce many different goods. Therefore, such cooperation can be considered to be mutually beneficial. Now, the Western countries are gonna get rid of fossil fuel, and we're gonna somehow survive on light and wind. Sometimes we fart and we collect that and we use it for energy as well. So this is how we're gonna have a booming industry, all right, and economy obviously. And the banking system is going down. Military spending is going to be restricted only to the 30 countries to 40 that I mentioned, and that's it. And the other guys are going to still use fossil fuel, and they're going to be more for them. That means longer for them. And we'll see who's going to be developing, us or them. What do you think? Now they have a lot of to catch up, but still we have not a lot to just drop, because we're going nose diving right now. And we're going to have windmills, you know, we're going to have solar panels, we're going to have soybean latte, so we can lactate, and we have a lot of yes and all that, and we're good, and snip snip, and we're going to have a great culture like the Romans had when they were in the last legs in the 5th century and 6th century. But they adopted a certain kind of religion. Well, we adopt now a certain kind of religion nowadays, which I just mentioned in a few words, camouflaged, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this country is going to go country, and if the United States goes to, everybody else is going to go to in the West. These guys, remember, they will just, and they have to change. Why? Physics and the laws of nature do not change for me, you, or all these weasels. They are the same. Okay, you don't produce, you don't have. You don't save, you're gonna live, daily with the same thing that you had, and you're gonna be starving. You have to produce something. You can't just massage yourself every day and say, "Hey, I'm a service-based economy." You're a service for a while, and then you need to produce something. This, that, this. Who produces this? Those guys who are getting bigger and bigger. And what do you produce? Weapons. Weapons and what? Money. Print money, type money, and sending to whomever. Really? Everybody works for you? Is that how it works? Now, with petrodollar as well, it's a racket. I'm not celebrating because I think I am on a losing side right now. Because if these guys continue as they continue, the dollar is going to lose its power. That means we're going to start producing something, because you can't just give paper to everybody and everybody gives us products or anything like that. We can't do that. We can't just type money, among ourselves. You know, how much you need? 3 billion, 30 billion, or you, okay, backed by what? When it collapses. Doesn't work that way, man. Unfortunately, it does, but it doesn't work that way if you want to keep it floating or going up. We'll find out. Unfortunately, those guys are really, they got really scared by what happened in Ukraine. I think Ukraine was the point where these guys tried to take care of the other guys. The other guys did not die. Therefore, these guys say, oh, oops, let's jump over here because these guys already kicked us in the teeth so many times. The other ones, no. And they offer maybe a brighter future. But we know how this one is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.